But
You let it roll.
okay, but we had Frank Sinatra's Grand Marshal, Sophia Loren, just that every year. But all we got from them was a bill from the Waldorf. Okay, I said this is nuts. So the first person I went to was Ken Langone, and I said, Ken, I want you to be, first of all, I want you to be a member, and I want you to, be Grand Marshal of the Parade. He was very, very proud of his Italian heritage. He's absolutely frank. He said, "What do you want? It's $1 million." He said, "Okay." Oh, that's pretty good start. And then we always had honorees, and I always had been a past honoree. We never asked the honorees for money. I said, "Okay, if you want to be Grand Marshal, that's $1 million, and if you want to be honoree, it's you got to raise, give or get. You can raise it, whatever you raise, whether you raise it, whether you write a check." That was 250,000, and for 11 years in a row, 12 years in a row, I had Mario Gabelli, I had Bob LaPenta, all very senior guys, very philanthropic, and we raised. In some years, I had one honoree that raised $800,000 on top of so between $1 million and $1.5 million. So we started the weekend, Columbus weekend, with $1.5 million to $2 million on
Where do
day
those
one.
funds go then,
Excuse
ultimately?
me.
Where do those funds go that you raise?
That went to the scholarship program.
Got it. Okay. So it
When
fed
I was
into one fed
president,
into
we
the
we
other.
got up to 600 kids in the scholarship program.
That's
600.
tremendous. Now, tell
Okay.
us about the Tunnel to Towers board. This is another area where you've raised a lot of money for a cause near and dear to your heart.
Well, what was happening is we're coming up on our 50th anniversary, and I told my son Chris, who then was transferring, I was becoming CEO of the company, and I was phasing out, after 50 some odd years. Fortunately, he's better than me, so it worked out very well. Okay, so I had no problem. For a couple of years, I bring him in every decision that was made, he was involved in. And the last 2 years before I retired, if we disagreed, which was rare, his way won. I said, "Because you're going to run the company," and I told him, they're going to see you. Don't think you're the prince, because you have to win over your employees, and you have to show them that you've got what it takes. And I'll tell you, he's in the office every day, and now the only people in our office today are administrative people. Everybody's all over the United States working from home.
All your recruiters, all your
Yeah,
salespeople.
all the recruiters, and they're salespeople, so you can't force them to come in because they can go someplace else. Everybody wants them. They all try to get recruited by other firms. So at any rate, uh, I said to Chris, you know something? I don't want to have a black tie or a big party or something like that. I want to do good, okay, and do good. And turns out that Sal Casano, who was the deputy chief of the New York Fire Department on 9/11, okay, got pretty banged up, but he went down to the towers with five others. Chief Gansey was his boss, and all five perished. Uh, Here we go again. Sal uh, set up at Gansey's command. He set up a command post outside, trying to direct everything, which was chaos. And when the South Tower came down, he got hit. He wound up in the hospital getting last rites from the cardinal. And he said he got up, dressed me, went back to the towers, and didn't get home till the night of September 12th. He had 3 broken ribs, and he refused to leave. We were kids together in the old neighborhood. So he was one of the founders with Frank Siller, an amazing individual. And I thought about that, and I thought about that those guys back in Vietnam, and sometimes I felt like why didn't I go, kind of thing. So I met with Frank, and I said with Chris, and I said we want to do something. We want to raise some money. I said, maybe I could raise $300,000 over 2, 3 years. He said, fine, go out and do it. And I made a list of all my guys that I play golf with, all the people at the Columbus Club, and everybody else I knew, and started calling them one after the other. Um, I also called one of my contacts, a terrific guy at American Express. And at the end of the day, over this, we've done this for the third year. We just hit the $5.4 million mark on that.
Wow.
Yeah, I got American Express, put a couple of million in, and
How'd you get Amex to pony up so much cash?
a dear friend of mine's a CEO. And but that he's not the type of guy that would do that if it wasn't worthwhile. He bucked it to his to their philanthropic committee, but Tunnel to Towers makes such a compelling argument,
And
and
where
the
does the
work that
money
they're
go?
doing.
Explain that part to us, Frank.
Well, they have. It started with Frank, little nothing in Staten Island. Okay, it's 9/11. Frank's brother was died in the towers. So this family got together. This guy was he heard about it. He was on his way to play golf that morning, and he heard about it. He went back to his firehouse. They had all responded at that point. He took 60 pounds of equipment and drove back and got to the Battery Tunnel, which the Manhattan side is about maybe half a mile from the towers, and it was closed. He strapped his equipment on, ran through the towers into the North Tower, I believe, and never came out. So his the family so they started this little nothing, and they got to Mayor Giuliani. They said, "We want to do something symbolic," and they started a run through the Battery Tunnel. And they actually today, every year in September, they close the Battery Tunnel on a Sunday. And last year they had 40,000 runners.
Wow.
It's chaos. It's complete. All of Lower Manhattan closes. Imagine this. When you come out of the tunnel, there's 325 firefighters with pictures of everyone that died. And he feeds every one of them. When you come out of the tunnel and you finish the race, okay, it's a race or a walk, whatever it is, he's got food trucks and food stands set up and a concert. It's amazing. So toward the beginning, Hurricane Sandy came. He helped some people from Staten Island. There was a Staten Island, the first double amputee or quadruple amputee that survived the war was in Walter Reed. He was a Staten Island guy, went to visit. The guy had no arms, no legs. And Frank looked at him. He says, where do you live? I said, I have an apartment. We're going to build you a home. So he was the first one.
And it's a smart home. So there's
a smart home,
technology in there that
everything you got. It's just unbelievable. Well, to fast forward, they've done what started with catastrophic injured veterans. Okay, and from there he looked at with two New York City patrolmen that were sitting in a car that got murdered, by a radical. And he went to them and he said, "Okay, we got to help you. We're gonna give you a home, not a smart home, to the spouses, but a home, and then another one, and then another one, and either he would pay off the mortgage if they had a home, or build them a home." Well, they've gotten over 2,000 of these either homes or paid off the mortgage, and he's made a pledge to pay off the mortgage or build a house for every first responder that dies in the line of duty, whether cop, firefighter, EMS, plus the catastrophically injured veterans. Those are the Gold Star people
in all of New York City.
in all of the United States. They've done over 2,000 of these, and thankfully, there haven't been too many catastrophic injured, veterans. Okay, so he's got these programs running, and he said, veteran homelessness is a plague. They estimate over 50,000 vets on the streets. And I walked past them. I was walking river to river and side to side in Manhattan. They became invisible. People would see them. They'd be there in the wintertime, piled with, blankets or whatever. They'd have a shopping cart with their worldly possessions next to them, and nobody gave them a second look. It was like they melded into the woodwork. He said, "This can't be." He said, we're going to take them off the off the streets. And as of this year, he's taken 17,500 vets off the streets and 8,500 children that were living on the streets with those vets.
Oh my God.
He's built, someone years ago gave him a big piece of property in the Orlando, Tampa area. He built a do-good village. I don't know if you've ever seen the ads, but he built a do-good village. It'll be 100 homes. He's got about 40 homes built, and at 30, just opened a 30,000 square foot um, a reception center, and swimming pools, basketball courts, reading rooms, and so on.
How have I
All of
never
the
heard of
vets he's
this?
taken off the street. He's got a social worker, an employee that's in touch with that person. You just can't take him off the street and put him into a home. Because they need psychiatric help. They need. He goes to the VA on their behalf and gets the VA to contribute, and so on. So,
Frank, how do we find out more information? People want to participate, want to learn more, want to
just do
donate.
T2T.org. T2T.org. Tunnel to Towers Foundation. So he started this $11 a month. He's got about 80,000 people paying at least 11. Some pay 20, some 25. This year, Tunnel to Towers will do 500. They list 2025. The gross revenue is $500 million, and 93% of the money that they raise goes directly to the programs. Now you got the veteran homeless program, the catastrophically injured, first responders. Okay, so this is the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and the 25th anniversary naturally of the foundation. So he brought 5,300 of the families of either catastrophic injured veterans, or this is just last week, and we went up to Orlando, flew them into Orlando, uh, took over Universal Studios at the theme park for a day. Okay, it was open to the public up until 7 p.m., and then from 7 to 10, it was exclusively for Tunnel to Towers. All the children. I never saw so many wounded veterans. It was just unbelievable. He has a concert the next day at a big picnic area. Feeds 5,300 people, and then he announces every child who goes to college, he will do a full 4-year scholarship for every one of these kids. Now and take this guy's name. I'm with Ivan Castro, Castro. He's the guy. He was the first one that we built the smart home for. Now we have two others. I have a veteran in New Mexico that's got 6 kids, and I'm waiting for another one. So we'll do 3 homes, and we'll do 3 million. That's about 2.5 million, and the other 3 million right now are going to veteran homeless. He's building. He's got 2 large hotels that he's completely gutted and refurbished. It's just amazing. They're gorgeous, and the smart homes are gorgeous. You got to see
And,
them.
all, and Frank, all the funding comes from people donating money.
Absolutely. He's on. They do. What do you call it? They do ads all over the place. Anyway, Ivan Castro. He's the first one they gave me. He started as a private in the Army, made first sergeant, went to officer candidate school, got his degree. He's on a rooftop in Yusufa in Afghanistan, and he's on a rooftop, which he's a captain at this point. He shouldn't be on a rooftop, but he was a sniper. He was a Green Beret. This guy was all everything. He gets hit with a mortar shell. 2 of his men die. He's next to death. He wakes up in the hospital like 20 days later. He's in a coma, and he's got shrapnel on his body from head to toe, broken ribs. It's amazing. You could see on my Facebook page an interview between he and I, and he's totally blind. Okay, we'll never see again. One of his eyes got blown out. The other, the ocular nerve, whatever, was cut off. So they tell him he'll never see again. So that